Zorian, thank you for being here.
My pleasure.
And this is a question that's on everybody's mind, you know. So, how did you know you were actually gay?
The same way you knew you were actually straight.
I never knew, but it just kind of happened. Did you even think about it?
No, it's like bachpan se I knew I like boys just like other people knew they like girls.
No, so we are seasoned. We were always trained. Mentally, we were trained that okay, you are a girl, you will obviously like a boy.
Well, here's the thing. I wouldn't say I was mentally trained to like people. I guess my parents weren't that fascist with me, but I think it was just naturally in. It was like I could say I was kind of born this way to like.
When did you realize it? Was there a moment that you said, aha?
When I was 5 and I saw Madonna's Like a Prayer video.
Okay, but Madonna, and it didn't do anything to you, or why was it that video?
Well, people go to Vaishno Devi and they see Mata and they get all their things. I saw my Mata, which is Madonna, and so I got my revelations.
Awesome. So we have a very big of a stereotype that this is what a gay man is like, that they're effeminate, they have certain actions, so we have a vision in our mind. So do you think people actually fall into that stereotype, or is this just in our minds?
Well, I gave a TED talk a couple of months back, and in that I raised a point about what does machismo mean. Because like we're so used to, these leading men who are like all muscular, dashing, exactly, right? But if you look at the people who created machismo, which is like Marlon Brando, James Dean, Clark Gable, Rock Hudson, all these legends of that time, they were all gay men.
Okay.
So like our modern day definition of what machismo is all was created by gay men. So the whole concept of what is manly, what is effeminate, well, who's made those rules, right?
Okay.
But why all the fashion designers, all the creative field, most of the people are gay? Why is it that with a certain industry?
It's not with a certain industry. If you look at from ancient times, some of the greatest scientific minds were gay men too. Leonardo da Vinci was an artist, but he was also a great inventor. He created blueprints for a helicopter in his thing centuries before a helicopter was made. There was this computer scientist called Alan Turing who helped stop the Second World War, gay man.
Yes, but he had a lot of controversy, right? Because when he was discovered,
he was made to eat cyanide and all sad things.
But now I have another question for you. Now, you have been out in the open, but most people are not so confident about this. There are lots of closet gays. So, how are you seeing that changing, or is that most of the gay people in the community are still in the closet?
See, unfortunately, we live in a country like India where, let's face it, one of the biggest fears in most people's minds is that the parents are not going to accept us because it's a very family society that we have. The good thing is, as time is going by, more and more people are coming out of the closet, more and more people are kind of voicing it out. But unfortunately, the thing is, I don't know, maybe it's an Indian thing, maybe it's an old-fashioned values thing, but all of a sudden it's like, the minute someone says they're gay, they have to give a million explanations why and how and everything. And now we have the wonderful party that's governing our country.
I was going to ask you about the legal aspects. I mean, there's a lot of talk about this also.
Well, here's the thing, they say that, it's illegal to be gay in India, but then if you think about it, our mythologies and all our culture is full of homosexuality and full of like different gods and goddesses belonging on the spectrum. For example, let's say two men, Shiva and Vishnu, the two great gods of our country. Well, they have a child together because they had sex together.
What is the source of information?
Vishnu Puran, Shiva Puran,
They say that.
But aren't these immaculate conceptions?
Not really. It's actually given. In fact, if you think about it, the goddess Durga, you know how she was created, right?
No.
Well, basically the PG-13 version, which you see in the tacky TV shows with the bad special effects, they're all like, Bhagwan, all the gods together gave her Shakti. But what does that Shakti mean? Shakti is the semen. So basically they all ejaculated into a pot and out came Durga riding a tiger.
Now, answer this question. What about societal acceptance? Do you find that, in the metros it's become better?
Here's the thing. The more and more people remain closeted, the harder it will be for them to find acceptance. The minute they come out and they can actually say with pride that, I am gay and this is who I am, and I don't give an F about what you think, people accept them automatically. I think when you live with fear of who you are, no one's going to accept that fear. It's on a psychological level. But the minute you have pride in who you are, the minute you feel confident about that, this is who I am and I don't care what you think, I'm living my life, people accept that. It's common knowledge, right? Confidence brings more people towards you. Fear repels people.
So is there a community or a club or a socializing area? How do you people
How do you meet?
How does it work?
How do you meet the love of your life?
I've not met
Do you have your arranged marriages like we do?
There's a gay matrimonial website, yes.
Okay.
But I'm not into that. There are a lot of dating apps to meet people, and we have a lot of activist communities here where they organize a lot of gay parties throughout the week. We have a lot of fundraisers and charity events for people. And then there's always Facebook, isn't there?
See, our whole thing is, of course, we're coming as straight people. We think that you guys have way more fun than we do.
Oh yeah, we do.
Relationships are far more open and that more experimental. Is that true, or is this just in our mind?
Well, here's the thing. I don't know what you mean about open and experimental, because because like along with all the things I do in theatre, I also write a sex column for Scoop Food where
very nice.
people send me questions and I answer them in a very candid manner. And from what I've found out, it's like, especially in cities like Chandigarh and all, there are a lot of straight people doing couple swapping and all sorts of key parties where they put their keys in a tub and you have to pick one up.
Does it actually happen?
Of course.
We have to do an episode on this one too.
So like these things are there. So the thing is, you see, it's not like gay men are more experimental than straight people. It's just that, we are more vocal about it, I could say that.
Or you may be more honest.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's like this. See, let's say the average Indian girl who's on Tinder, because of, let's face it, along with being a very homophobic country, we are a very misogynistic country, a very sexist country. So there's more shame on a straight girl if she's on Tinder, because she's like, oh, she's on Tinder, what is she doing on Tinder, etc., etc. And I've known that from a lot of my female friends. They keep facing the stigma, why is she on Tinder, why is this happening? And what is the app for? Tinder is basically an app for meeting people to engage in a sexual relationship. But there are so many people who write, oh, I'm not looking for sex, I'm looking for this. But the minute the match happens, they're like, oh, send me a dick pic. Right?
So one more question I think we always have. So who's the man and who's the woman in a relationship? Or is it traditional or is it not? Because in our mind, it's like, okay, there is a feminine side and a masculine side.
And so we don't understand those...
Well, here's the thing, the whole man and woman thing is a very sort of, it's kind of derogatory to ask a gay person that, because I have a penis, so I'm a man, so there you go. But I will say this, it's like this, see, like women have the vagina, they have the clitoris, they have the G-spot. The same organisms are found in a man too, just in different places. Like for example, your G-spot is our P-spot, our prostate gland. So stimulating of each of them basically gives us the same amount of pleasure. The clitoris is made of the same things a penis is made out of, so we all know what happens with each is stimulated.
So there is no this concept of man and woman, like we have kind of seen it in movies.
Yeah, but I have seen men like in a couple, one dressed like a man and one dressed like more like a feminine. Chunky jewelries and the colors and the silhouette.
I think that's more to do with one's personal style and
so this has nothing to do with the chemistry.
No, nothing like that. Like for example, I've known couples where, I've seen guys who are like all muscular and beefy, like, Wolverine type looking men. And they know all the lyrics to Sri Devi songs. They do all the Madhuri.
And I know Sri Devi is your icon.
In India, it's Sri Devi and Madhuri, and abroad, it's Madonna.
Now, tell me one last question. What kind of change would you like to envision for India, for the gay and the lesbian community?
My first change, I would say, is that more and more people should come out of the closet, because the more noise we make, the more people will listen. And let's face it, closets are kind of claustrophobic. Who wants to live in a closed space?
One last thing I want to ask. I have a gay friend. So whenever I meet him, I don't know how to greet him, because they have...
Hello.
No, it's like they expect, I don't know. So sometimes I feel the hug, or the handshake. So is there any language code also that this is the way they? Because I
You
always
make it
feel
sound
that-
like we're some underground secret resistance movement. or something.
I as like I feel that how do I? So is there any?
Hello, hi, how are you? Simple, basic manners.
They're like normal people like us.
We all eat, we all burp, we all fart, we all poop. and sometimes, you know, we all go through our mood swings according to the moon cycles.
So I can say oops.
Thank you so much.
Sure thing, sure thing.